If you knew what I asked for, you would laugh at how silly it is. And the thing that he was asking for was condemning Snark. He won't drop the lawsuit because they won't condemn Snark. Now, the next thing I wanted to talk about with you guys was this. This YouTuber, Stephen Asark, I apologize if I'm mispronouncing that. He, I guess, got his hands on the court documents, the Canadian court documents that talk about the lawsuit between Ethan Klein and iDubbbz, which apparently it's also like public information, just like it is in the US. You just have to pay to get access to it. So let's
So yes,
look.
I am suing my former bestie, iDubbbz. And I'll shortly explain why.
So I've managed to get the lawsuit documents between Ethan Klein and iDubbbz. And it really wasn't hard.
Ethan had every right to be angry enough to file a lawsuit. Even if you think he's a rich bully and he's bullying people on the internet, there are certain things you can't say about people.
There have been so many lawtubers who have been covering this Ethan Klein iDubbbz story, and none of them got these documents.
Ethan says Ian and Anissa do not.
Hey guys, can we trust lolcow mindset? Sorry, lolicon mind. Sorry, legal mindset. You guys think we can trust that guy? He's not. It's not like he was wrong about anything ever, right? He famously was not incorrect about anything.
Uphold an agreement they already signed, resulting in the lawsuit continuing for the time being.
So it looks like everyone on both sides is looking forward to see what this missing piece of information is. So let us know what you think it is in the comments.
All I had to do was spend $25 to the Calgary local court, who gave me a list of documents, and then I had to send that list of documents with another $25, and I got all the documents. So I guess it's just kind of easier to riff on what you think the case would be off of random clips you see online rather than...
I think there's some context that's missing here. Basically, Ethan Klein said that... Sorry, Ethan Klein's suing iDubbbz. You guys know about that. And he said, if you apologize for having a VTuber model that offended my sensibilities and put a message on the screen that made me look like a coward who wouldn't call out Destiny at any point ever, if you apologize, I will drop the lawsuit. And then he apologized. iDubbbz apologized. And then Ethan Klein replied to that apology video by saying, I will drop the lawsuit immediately. I will immediately drop the lawsuit. Yes. And a month later, iDubbbz went on stream and said, by the way, I'm still getting sued. LOL. And Ethan put out this story saying, we have a signed agreement in place to drop the lawsuit. It's already done. They reneged, and a judge will decide if they fulfilled it, if the judge thinks they didn't fulfill it. The lawsuit is virtually over no matter what the judge decides. They are being intentionally vague. Again, this is over an agreement they already signed.
You think it is in the comments.
All I had to do was spend $25 to the Calgary local court, who gave me a list of documents, and then I had to send that list of documents with another $25, and I got all the documents. So I guess it's just kind of easier to riff on what you think the case would be off of random clips you see online rather than doing the research yourself. So even though I am no lawyer, I do not claim to be a lawyer, I don't really know much law, especially the Canadian legal system. But I saw so much information get spread around this lawsuit. And I was like, I know how to get legal documents. It's not hard. So I just decided, okay, it's now my time and I'm gonna try to do it. Welcome to Stephen Mindset. Today we're gonna go through the Ethan Klein / TED Entertainment lawsuit against Ian Joma and Anissa Joma. Now, before, there's been so much content that's sort of played out in the public sphere when it comes to this story. The lawsuit itself first broke when Ian shared in a live stream that Ethan Klein was suing him.
It is official. I am being sued by Ethan Klein in the courts of Calgary, Alberta, for defamation.
While pretending to be a dragon, Ian shared a statement from Destiny and questioned its validity.
I mean, it's like the only fucking content they have over there, right? Like, that podcast is full of talentless hacks.
Because of that, and because Canadian defamation law is way different than United States law, Ethan Klein was able to sue iDubbbz using what I've been able to see is one of the more expensive and largest law firms in the entire world.
Ian has deeply aligned himself with the snark community that I think that people should be held accountable for saying stuff like that. And there should be recourse. There should be accountability. And that's basically what my goal is in this.
And the whole lawsuit seems to frame itself on the idea of snark. On or about February 20th, 2026, Ian Joma displayed an image that another content creator with the
I have
online...
to say, by far, the funniest thing about this entire lawsuit is all it did was prove that Ethan just does not have the same legal smoke for sex pestiny that he does for anyone else. Like, it's a little bit comedic that he would go through all of these lengths to go after Ian for something sex pestiny said, and then he defended it by saying, like, I think he said something like, if memory serves me correct, he said something like, well, you don't understand, iDubbbz has met my family before, so it means more coming from him. But can you imagine if, like, Hassan said that, or maybe if I said that, someone who hasn't met his family? Do you really think that he would be like, well, you've not met my family, so it doesn't mean anything coming from you? No, you wouldn't. Oh, yeah, the other thing that he said was that it was a joke, and he just said it once in an offhand comment, but it's like he said it like 5 different times and then explicitly said, I am not joking.
persona Destiny and said Mr. Klein was a pedophile in a video that Ian Joma posted online. In the same video, Mr. Joma stated that. A whole bunch of stuff. So basically, Ethan in this lawsuit claims that he got a massive amount of damages, and actually that he lost a sponsorship over this claim. He claims that the subscriber loss and all of the bad things that are happening to his brand are because of this live stream, or at least that's what he alludes to in the lawsuit. It doesn't really make sense because Ethan Klein's reputation was already controversial before this live stream that was watched by a couple hundred people was even online.
iDubbbz said, I am not dropping the lawsuit. And, well, listen, it's a bunch of technical bullshit. It's just, we're in negotiating the terms of the settlement.
Just a reminder, the only other time that I can recall regarding lawsuits that he was like, it's just so technical and like, I can't get into it. And like, I don't know, was it right before my lawsuit or the judge ruled on my case officially? It was after the tentative ruling, or sorry, after we filed, I think, our motion.
So, and that's it. I don't know. It's what it is. You know what I mean? We're negotiating the terms of the it's a meeting about the settlement. That's it. That's all it is. Right? So, whatever. I mean, I tolerate a lot of people saying a lot of things about me, and I have for a long time. It's called accountability, in my opinion. And
accountability from the guy who refuses to take accountability for anything ever.
Listen, if I said that about someone else.
It does feel like a lot of this is just like him taking out his like pent up anger about like having to sign a settlement with Ryan Kavanaugh. And it feels like he's trying to like use, like he has all this pent up anger because he had to publicly apologize to Ryan Kavanaugh, and he had to take down all the Ryan Kavanaugh videos. He was like, no, I'm serious. We can't disparage him. Like, no, I'm really serious. We can't. I don't know what the terms of that settlement was because it obviously was all private, but it does feel like he got so owned in court, or he got so owned by Ryan Kavanaugh that he's like, I want to do this to someone else so I can get back some of my manhood or something.
I would probably just apologize and beg them not to sue me.
I think it's more to do with all of the what I believe to be reckless lawsuits. Don't come after me, H3 fandom. I believe both the iDubbbz side and the Ethan Klein side are kind of iffy in this story. I don't think he could have sued him the way he sued him here in the United States. I think it had to be in Canada. Also, a big part of this lawsuit is the Reddit and the idea of snark.
And I know we have a really good case in Canada, and their lawyer told them that. If he had issued this type of apology, like, I don't know, months ago, I would have thought it was sincere. But to do it like right after you get a cease and desist, how can I, like, I'm not even being this to be like snarky. I'm being like, how am I actually supposed to think it's sincere? And to me, that's unacceptable. And it's personal. And I'm just following through on my promises.
Ethan brings up Reddit and snark constantly over and over. And it's even part of the settlement that eventually is the reason that the whole thing kind of falls
I didn't even
apart.
get to read that. What?
And it's even
Okay, so part of the settlement, I guess, agreements was there was a non-disparagement. Sorry. All right, let's see. There was a non-disparagement clause. Shocking, by the way, shocking. Isn't it funny that he said that he didn't want to put in a non-disparagement clause, and then he decided to put in a non-disparagement clause? The parties agree that they shall not make, publish, or share, or republish from other content creators any remarks about each other that are about their families or each other, directly or indirectly, that are unfair, untrue, defamatory, disparaging, or otherwise derogatory. Without limiting the generality of the foregoing, the defendants agree that they will not participate in the Reddit communities known as H3 Snark or Leftovers H3 or any other communities that are created for the purpose of criticism or mockery of the plaintiffs. Okay, I just want it to be noted. Notice how the iDubbbz Snark subreddit is not listed here. I wonder who put this clause in. You guys remember when Ethan Klein screenshotted the photo of Anissa? It was because he was scrolling on the iDubbbz Snark subreddit. I wonder who would put in a clause about Snark subreddits, but not include the Snark subreddit that Ethan Klein peruses. Plaintiffs agree to not participate in any other similar communities created for the purpose of criticism or mocking of the defendants. Interesting that they didn't list the specific iDubbbz one. They listed the Snark, the H3 Snark ones by name, but not the iDubbbz Snark one by name. Isn't that so interesting? Oh, Christ. Ethan announced what Pedro Charles said after Ian announced the lawsuit was still alive. My attorney wanted to include a non-disparagement and stuff, and I told them no non-disparagement. They can say anything they want about me. Oh, Christ almighty. Plaintiffs further agree to not make or permit others to make disparaging or defamatory remarks about the defendants on the Reddit community, H3 Productions, or any other online community where the plaintiffs hold moderator power. I'm sorry, like, I just don't. Personally, I wasn't born yesterday. I don't believe this for a second. I don't believe this for a second. Yeah, we will definitely go out of our way to make sure that there are no disparaging posts about you on H3 Productions.
part of the settlement that eventually is the reason that the whole thing kind of falls apart. So, in general, Ethan Klein is suing for $1 million in damages over this, which is like, the live stream was viewed by a couple hundred people and iDubbbz was a dragon. iDubbbz is not a successful live streamer. He's not popular right now. So the idea of kind of blaming him for all of this stuff just makes no sense to me. So basically what happens is the lawsuit gets filed and sent, and Ian puts out an apology.
It's very clear that it was never the right thing to do. It was a comment about Ethan and his children, and it was disgusting. I said at the time in the stream that I don't agree with it, but still sharing it and broadcasting it to people for 40 minutes, that was an irresponsible and reckless thing to do.
Ethan writes in the comments of the apology saying that, okay, I'm going to drop the case. But that isn't exactly what Ethan Klein wanted. From these documents, it was clear that Ethan didn't just want to drop the case, he wanted to get a settlement out of it. And he wanted iDubbbz to have to follow a few key things. And in these documents, we have the settlement that they tried to do. Ethan's and Ian's lawyers are talking. And Ethan's lawyers are like, here are the deeds of the settlement. And Ian's lawyers are like, okay, we can do that. There's an apology in here that we don't really want to have the specifics of, but we do feel like we can do this. So here is it signed. And they both agree that it's signed and we're good. But the statement that Ian did wasn't good enough for Ethan Klein. Ethan Klein wanted a condemnation of Snark and the Snark subreddits. Now, I have been on the record, and I personally believe, you may disagree, that Ethan and his community use snark as an excuse to move away from criticism. Like snarking talking points, and this idea that snark is the end of all evil, and that they attack their kids.
So for anyone who's been sort of loosely following this story, Ethan put out this one Instagram story that said, iDubbbz lawsuit, my one condition for totally dropping it was so laughably small and easy that you will realize that Ian and Anissa are just doing this for attention. I'm going to respect the Canadian legal system and not talk about the ongoing negotiations, but if you knew what I asked for, you would laugh at how silly it is. And the thing that he was asking for was condemning snark. That's why he won't drop the lawsuits. He won't drop the lawsuit because they won't condemn snark. I thought it was just an apology. Oh, it's not just an apology. Oh. It was actually this other thing that you needed to specifically say. This Kilotonics, I think, post is actually explaining it very well. Ethan and Neela apparently agreed that Ian would make a statement on his live stream on July 2nd that he disavows negative online behaviors towards others and includes his own recent actions in the disavowal/apology. The clip here is from iDubbbz's July 2nd stream where he very clearly does this. This clip isn't even the full segment. The full segment is just more of the same for a full 4 minutes. I think Ethan Klein disagreeing with whether or not this condition has been fulfilled as it pertains to their lawsuit being dismissed exclusively revolves around Ian not using the word snark. Seriously. Here's the clip.
Like, I just need to start making content, you know.
Can I full screen this? There we
Like,
go.
I just need to start making content, you know, and just fucking, especially after spending so much time streaming and kind of getting roped into the whole harassment cycle of like firing back at, I mean, there was a lot of the slop tubers I didn't really fire back at. It's like, I think I felt, you know, not compelled enough to do it. But for like the H3 podcast, I was definitely getting sucked into the cycle, the sort of the bad parts of like online, the ugly parts of like online discourse.
He did not condemn Anark.
You know, and I really don't want to be a part of that. And it felt bad that I felt bad that I was, you know, engaging in that end. You stoop to their level. That's one way of putting it.
That's amazing. That is incredible. I just have no words, man.
That everything is going on. It's always Snark's fault. So Ethan using Snark as like this cover and putting Ian in that snarking community feels like, to me, it's not in the legal documents, this is just me as a journalist, as a way to kind of legitimize snark as a concept. To believe that, yes, snarking is real. Here, Ian's behind it. Ian talked about it. In the same way in that Casey-tron settlement, they bring up like Hassan and Asmongold, just because like it's a way to kind of legitimize the talking points against Ethan Klein. It just all kind of feels weird.
The lawsuit was not frivolous. When I said the lawsuit was frivolous and based on misogyny, it was to garner sympathy, protect my own reputation, and retaliate against the Kleins. I also want to acknowledge the pervasive problem of anti-Semitism in leftist spaces. It should concern all of us. I condemn it and will not participate in it.
So the reason this lawsuit is kind of holding up is that Ian is refusing to condemn snark. In this story in general.
Condemning snark is so funny. Dude, you are such a small little person to care in this way. Like, I can't, man. It's not just full-on serial extortion at this point. No, it's just you using the legal system to, I don't know, try to win. Hold up. Also, let me say something else. It is crazy that the initial settlement offer was, you pay us $1 million. Guy who's definitely being reasonable. I do think that this kind of lends some credence to the idea that I had, or the statement that I made a couple days ago, the last time I talked about this, which is I think he wasn't expecting the Moist Critical video to be so anti the lawsuits. And then he wasn't expecting Ian to actually follow through with the apology. And then he ended up in this position where the internet was, and even his ride or dies like Nicholas Eat Oreo were against his lawsuit against iDubbbz. Moist Critical was against his lawsuit against iDubbbz, and everybody else was against his lawsuit against iDubbbz, except for like the like iDubbbz hate watchers, I guess. And when Ian apologized, he must have been like, fuck, now I actually have to like take it back. No. Sorry, he was suing for $1 million. Wait, didn't he also make that request in the settlement? I think he also made that request in the settlement document. It's hard because this guy put like the documents so randomly in this video. I wish they were a little bit less random. We're at 9 minutes. No, this is the original filing. I can't really find it. Okay, continuing.
It has been since that moment.
We're here.
Wanted something out of doing all of this.
I don't want to sue you, right?
He's trying to win an online argument by winning a court case. It has to be the most Reddit ass thing he's ever done. It is very confusing in the video. Yeah, the video is like, I'm going to be honest. If I didn't already know the things that were happening, this video would not be helpful for me. This video is really confusing. It's like all over the place. And I know what's happening. And I've been keeping up with this to some level, to some degree.
Just drop the lawsuit. He could have at any time just said like, okay, we're done. But he wanted a settlement out of it. He wanted something out of doing all of this.
I don't want to sue you, right? I don't want to do all this shit, but at the end of the day, I have made a commitment. And I am the ultimate hater. I look bad, and I'm okay with that because...
Are you? I don't know that he even thinks that he's okay with that. In fact, I think all of this is because he's upset that he's not okay with it.
For me, it's personal, and that's it. That's all it is, you know, and it has been since that moment.
I think there's this like whole community of legal tubers who have kind of popped up and love to talk about the law when it has to deal with YouTubers, and they never like actually follow through with anything. None of these people found these court documents. It was not hard. And I'm now turning it into a YouTube video because I think it's important, and like I want to cover YouTube in the way that no one's really doing, like a journalist, a quirky journalist, but a journalist nonetheless. I want to kind of change the field, and I would love if you could like the video and subscribe to my channel. I'm thinking of dumping all of these lawsuits as a membership perk. Let me know in the comments if that's something that you'd want. There's a lot of stuff in here, and there's a lot I didn't even go through. This is Stephen Asark Talks.
Sounds like an abuser. I don't want to hit you. Don't make me hate you. Yeah, I mean, it's just like cringe is the problem. Like, he spent all this time saying he didn't want an NDA, and then what was the settlement at the end? An NDA requirement.
You know, and GG, my attorney wanted to include like a non-disparagement and stuff, and I told them no non-disparagement. They can say anything they want about me. We can talk about each other. It's not about silencing him at all. But yeah, I made a point. I'm dropping it. He can continue to say whatever he wants about me.
I'm going to drop the lawsuit. He can say what he wants about me, except that's not going to be the truth, because actually I wanted a non-disparagement clause, and I wanted them to sign a non-disparagement clause. Yeah.
And I him.
And I him. So true. Christ, man. Yeah, I have to say, it's just so cringy. It's just... I don't know that anyone guessed that, by the way, that the thing that was missing from the apology was that he didn't use the word snark. So he has to make another apology, specifically denouncing snark. Even though in response to the original video that Ian made, he said he was going to drop the lawsuit immediately. Like what? Something ceasefire. Oh my God. Can't they just duel it out? No, Ethan. I think Ian already suggested that, by the way. And Ethan said no. Oh, Christ almighty. Have you heard about the lawsuit against Pokemon for their hidden bathroom cameras? The what? The huh? Oh, yeah, this is what I was going to show you guys. Just in case anyone is curious, Ethan has decided he will be proceeding with appeals against me. He will respect what the judge has to say if the judge agrees with him, I guess. But, yes, he wants to lose a second time, I guess. Round 2, baby. So if you would like to support me, since the appeals are going to go through, I really would appreciate all of the support. The GoFundMe is the best way to support me, ! GoFundMe. And you can, I don't know, send over like $5 or $10 or something. Denims is 100,000% done this time, for sure. For sure, this time. Or go to ethankleinlied.com. And, yeah, help support me. Help me beat him a second time
My
around.
lawyer can't do fucking shit.
Help me do that. How is it being appealed? What do you mean? I don't understand the question. More tomatoes. No more tomatoes, okay? I've had enough tomato exposure for a lifetime. Wait, what the hell? The Pokemon Company faces a class action lawsuit over hidden camera bathroom recordings. A proposed class action lawsuit has been filed after a former engineering director was accused of secretly recording employers and visitors in the company's Bellevue, Washington office bathrooms. They found 89 videos recorded inside the Pokemon office restrooms. Oh. Oh. That's good. That's good. That's a good thing. Isn't that good, guys?